as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4.
And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry for the All-Pro running back. It's Josh Jacobs. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll run. Here's the rookie out of Arkansas. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. The Packers at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Working out of the gun, Love. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. And you look at the Saints defense. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Love now. Pass caught. That's Golden. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the 1st. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
Townsend in punt formation.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. Here's Shuck. Finding Williams on the check down. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Now 3rd down and 7.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't,
well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. He may go.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead.
The score, Saints 7, Packers nothing.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Love.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little bumping. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Here's Jacobs. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they come up now second and goal. But they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on second and goal. Throwing. Love. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing third and goal. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward.
Matthew Golden, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Nick Folk for the point after. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
First and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Now Williams running left. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Roger McCreary on the stop. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's third down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. They'll throw. Here's Shuck. He'll get this one to Pittman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He's got room at the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. A gain there of 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. The carry here for the big tight end. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 16-yard line.
They go play action here with Shuck. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive.
To throw is Shuck. Now he's going to step up and run. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way.
And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one. It's a gain of 35.
That's good for a Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the Saints' 8-yard line.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Love, this is 3rd and goal. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Folk connects on the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10.
Packers 14, Saints 10.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing, Shuck. Now he'll tuck this and run. The toss here completed to Pittman. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Here's 3rd and 10. To throw now, Shuck. Now he's going to step up and run. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And the half will begin with a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining 2nd half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the 2nd half and get us going?
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. Now the ball comes loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
Now Shuck. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the gun, Shuck. Able to hit his target well. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Shuck now to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams.
I've worked with you long enough now to know you like that decision. Go safe, pressure coming, hit your guy underneath.
It's an excellent decision, but he knew it came with consequences, and that's him getting hit on the play, but able to dump it to his running back and gain some yardage. I liked everything about it, especially his ability to stay in the pocket and execute.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Rashawn Gary drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
10 yards to go.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 5.
Love from the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw now. Here's Love.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Around 29-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 7.
Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Olave motioning to the left.
Back to throw now on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down and a yard.
They're going to look to throw.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now the first carry here for the running back. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9.
They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hip, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw.
He'll try and do this himself.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They're going to run this with a tight end. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Second and 7, operating from the 34. On play action, Shuck. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on 3rd down.
Play action now. Shuck. He'll try and do this himself. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
Oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Throw left side, it's hauled in by Golden.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
No gain on the play.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
31-yard line.
Working out of the gun. Love. Over the middle, he's got Golden.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Love looking to throw it. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. This is first and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Here comes second down. Back to throw. Connecting with Johnson. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to go to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. First and 10 here. They'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
So the road a little tougher here. Now first and 20. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Now he's free at the 35. He may go. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. So a big-time run there. A field goal wins it, and that puts him in good position.
Not only in good position, but your field goal kicker's over there warming up right now. You're thinking, let's get this guy out here pretty soon and finish this thing off.
Now first and goal. Williams fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Now look out to the 20. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Packers, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.